still haven't gotten used to like how the camera, because I have
Oh,
whatever,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
whatever. Anyway, joining me for a fresh batch of quarantine conversations is your friend and mine, Tyler Buzz Newcomb.
There you
Now,
go.
Tyler, tell the people
Yeah.
how you got the nickname Buzz.
Uh, I joined a Christian fraternity when I was in college, and as far as I'm aware, I used to have a buzz cut, and so that was reason number one. And reason number two, apparently, I look like Buzz Lightyear when I have a buzz cut.
Huh?
So, yeah, it just kind of stuck.
I look like Buzz Lightyear when I have a buzz cut.
Yeah,
You should put that on a T-shirt. I'm
I should.
obsessed with T-shirts. Now, Tyler, you are an interesting quarantine conversation because, like Rob Crawl, you're still at work.
I am.
Talk to me about what company culture is like in COVID-19.
No, it's pretty great. I think a lot of people were worried that we would even stay in business because at first glance we're not like quote unquote an essential business,
Mm-hmm.
but they're just going with the excuse that we're an FAA repair station as if we're working on commercial aircraft and really we're just fixing foreign military aircraft. So, whatever.
Wow.
All in the same book. But in
Um,
terms of like actually, I guess people at work, it's really not entirely different. I feel like most of the mechanics aren't taking it seriously and just kind of doing their own thing, with our owner just kind of occasionally mentioning to stay 6 feet apart.
is it
So,
easy in your place of work to stay 6 feet apart?
yeah, we'll have like our own cubicle in the front office, so not too difficult.
Have you felt sick at all?
No, thankfully. Very thankful for that.
That's awesome. That's good news.
Yeah.
So explain to the people why some people might believe that you have a essential job.
Oh, well, uh, you know, I guess we do fix aircraft, and aircraft is an essential business
To some people.
to some people. Can't let that die down. Yeah, I don't know if I could come up with a more valid, real reason.
Right,
for it.
right. So you're still at work. Are you jealous of people home quarantined, or do you like being at work?
I think when it was first happening, I was like, it'd be really nice just to take a break from life
Yeah,
and go home.
yeah.
But then I'm like, no, I'm an adult and I have bills. I can't be like my high school students.
Have
I have to
you
make money.
have you like noticed? Because now I don't basically leave the house at all in the day. I'm wondering
Yeah.
like, have you noticed just like when you do go out for lunch or when you like are out and about, like have you noticed the world just seems different?
Yeah, I mean, the very first thing I noticed is just because I eat takeout all the time, is like I can't sit down and all the chairs are pushed to the sides, and then all the people who are working there like frantically cleaning every surface all the time.
Right.
And then some people even have like caution signs in front of their cash register, so you don't like get close enough to the cash register. So that's like the first thing that I just noticed is people are just kind of on edge, walking everywhere.
That is
Like
crazy.
when the news first broke, it's like nobody's really taking it seriously, but now like everybody's like, yeah, the governor said, stay away from each other, so that's what we're doing.
I mean, I was gonna ask you about Rubio's because you go to Rubio's all the time.
Oh, I know.
Has it been
I was
has it been
very
hard?
sad. I haven't even gone there that much lately, actually. But like the first time I went there, I was like, yeah, I was just planning to sit down, and they even gave me like my number to go get a table. And then the manager came out and he's like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to do takeout. And I was like, oh, okay,
Crazy.
whatever.
So you're obviously feeling it in the food sector, but I'm wondering, like in the social sector or the life sector, how are you feeling quarantined? Because most people feel it at work. Like
Yeah.
the majority of the people I've talked to feel it because they're just home. You being at work,
Yeah.
I'm wondering, like, where are the ways that you're actually experiencing this?
I think there's just like a general sense of unease that like I could get sick and just like frantically washing my hands, and there's kind of this like sense of, well, this could happen, and if it does happen, then I'm just kind of like screwed
Yeah.
because what am I going to do? I can't go home and I can't work and kind of everything else that goes with that. So I don't know. And like I haven't seen anybody else outside of work, like in person, which is also weird. I mean, it's nice that we have like house party and stuff like that, but I don't know. It's frustrating that I just like can't relax.
Have you been on house party a lot though?
Yeah. Just watching the guys on their Minecraft server. It's kind of
I
funny.
know, man. They called me today and they were like doing that same thing. But whatever floats
Yeah.
your boat. Like socially, because I know you were supposed to move out from the place you're living and go
Yeah.
move in somewhere else. Tell me how that's been affected and how you're handling that.
Well, that was really frustrating because like I had already actually bought my bed that I was gonna put in his room, or I guess my new room. And so now my bed, like the disassembled bed, sitting outside of my door of where I'm currently living, and I don't really have anywhere to put it.
That sucks.
So it's just kind of sitting there. But I think that's just like added to the sense of like this sucks. Like when can it just be over?
Yeah.
Because like I was gonna move to like this new stage of life, and all of that's being put on pause, and I had to ask my current landlords, hey, can I like stick around a little bit longer?
Were they cool with that?
Yeah, thankfully.
That's really nice.
I was kind of worried.
So you're experiencing this in kind of a whole new way than some of our other leaders or people we're talking to. You're still trying to navigate real life in the midst of this crazy situation. How are you doing mentally and just with all of this stuff happening?
Yeah, it's like, I think your mini sermon yesterday was really applicable. Just like, we have every reason to have peace amidst every circumstance. And we're facing this thing that most people in our generation and even older generations have never faced before.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a new challenge to the peace that we're supposed to be having.
Yeah, it is very hard to have peace. How does that manifest in your life? Like the desire to have peace or the lack of peace?
I think honestly I haven't even really been sleeping that well, just because it's like stressful of what is tomorrow going to be like, and nothing's ever really certain, and so it's hard to like imagine what is my life like if I'm just content with where I'm at, when I don't know if something is going to be like drastically different tomorrow. And if it is, then how am I going to have peace if that happens?
Hold on a second, Tyler. What, Megan? Top. I forgot to I'm baking bread today. I forgot to put it in the oven. Anyway.
Nice.
Yeah. The general sense of like not knowing, I got it. The general sense of like not knowing what is coming next and what's happening, like that is where I feel the most sense of conflict or tension. Like the fact that Garcetti comes out and it's like, it could be 2 months. Just like, oh my gosh,
it's just crazy.
What does that mean for the rest of my life? Like it just doesn't make me feel good. How has this been for you spiritually, this COVID time?
Oh, for sure. I think it's kind of like this like tug in both directions of I want to be in a place where I feel more content, so I can help like my high schoolers feel more content, and there's kind of like be a place for them, but then also just like not being uncertain of what's going to happen in the future. So it's just kind of a weird place to be in. It's like I want to be in a rock solid place with God while all this other stuff's happening. So it's kind of just like this tension that I'm feeling.
So so I want you to flip the script and imagine your high school Tyler talking to this Tyler right now. And high school Tyler says, I really want to feel rock solid in this season.
Sure.
What would you tell them? What would you think would work for them?
I mean, even one thing I told my guys last night, which I thought was applicable, was like, especially for people in high school, given all this downtime and the fact that they're just basically just staying in their home for who knows how long, is they have like the perfect opportunity to just imagine what their life would be like if they gave God all the time that he deserves, because they have all the time to give it to him.
So good. Yeah.
How
did they respond to that?
Well, because I was like, even just like, how many times at Delta and Alpine have you guys talking about, I want to have a better relationship with God, and they feel like so on fire on the mountain, and then they come home and they're like, well, all the stress of life like takes that away. Well, I'm like, now you don't really have the stress of life because you're just like sitting at home playing video games.
Right.
So like take this time to like really build that relationship and just see what happens. And just kind of go from there.
Yeah. I also keep pushing students to like see how God is using this time to help them reconnect with family.
Yeah.
Like being stuck at home with your brothers or sisters or your parents all day. Like
definitely.
And that was what, the girls last week were saying, like, they have to communicate differently now. And I hope that really turns into positive things moving forward. Yeah. Yeah, it's huge. And I do commend you because you text me a lot about house party and stuff. And it's cool to see you trying to continue community and continue to have
Yeah.
a group culture while the world is seemingly falling apart.
Yeah, coming to an end.
Yeah, dude, it is crazy times out there. So what circumstances would mean you don't go to work, or are you always going to be working?
I mean, Gary, our owner, made it seem like there's nothing that's going to shut us down, if nothing else, because he can't afford to shut down.
Yeah, that's sad. That's hard.
I don't know. If like the governor even comes down harder and it's like, okay, like literally nothing essential, like, if you're not like food or healthcare,
Right.
then yeah.
Yeah.
But for now, at least, we get to have some sense of keeping our jobs.
Yeah. So you go to work, you come home. What have your quarantine nights looked like then?
Well, I used to like go out,
Right. For sure.
and now I just like, after I braved the grocery store, which was a war in itself,
Yeah, right.
then I'm just like eating frozen taquitos and sandwiches and stuff. So
I talked to a friend yesterday who was like, my diet consists of pizza rolls and pizza.
honestly, though,
Yeah.
it's definitely, yeah, I'm trying.
So you've been watching like a lot of YouTube, a lot of TV and stuff like that.
I bought Animal Crossing, and it's the best thing ever.
Tell the people about Animal Crossing because you're the second person to mention this.
Okay, just imagine you're just this dude and you're put on a deserted island and you get to like do whatever you want with it. Like you're given this little tent and you have this like guide who's like giving you materials and you like chop wood and collect bugs. And it's like seems mundane, but it's just like really relaxing. I just did like go sit and fish and enjoy myself.
What lessons from Animal Crossing can you apply to your life in COVID?
That is a great question, Hunter. I guess.
I asked the hard questions about Animal Crossing.
I mean, if you're putting yourself in the game, it's like nothing else really matters. You're just kind of like enjoying life.
Peace.
You know, like same thing. It's like, yeah, the world seems like it's coming to an end, but we can still find enjoyment and not just like live in gloom and doom.
Yeah, that's good. And also, I think you can like fish in Animal Crossing, right?
Yeah.
Would you go? I wouldn't go fishing right now. That seems
no.
Seems a little dangerous.
They actually shut down the piers too.
I know it's so nuts. What kind of spiritual disciplines or habits have you been trying to live out or put into your life in this season?
Definitely just a sense of trying to give fears over to God.
Mm-hmm.
Because like when you're living in before, it's like I didn't really necessarily have anything that I was afraid of or things that would make me want to go talk to God. But this is definitely a time where, okay, I have reason to talk to him, and let's like build that foundation of just
right.
Kind of like giving everything over to him, giving my anxieties and just talking to him.
Yeah. So this spiritual discipline of just like prayer and trust and continually going and abiding in the Lord. Yeah. I hear that. I hear that. I've also been just trying to read my Bible a ton and like, just try to just consume God's word. And that's been something that I've really enjoyed. And I keep recommending to students, like just sit with your Bible for 30 minutes. Like, I think Nathan in the chat yesterday in YouTube's like, normally I ran away with distractions, but now I don't. Yeah. And it's like, man, we all have that kind of, like I keep saying, this cosmic reset to sit and to read. And so that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I'll let you get back to sitting in your car and doing whatever you're doing. But before we go, I want you to answer the question I ask everybody in these quarantine conversations is one piece of content that's not Animal Crossing that you want to recommend, whether it's a movie, TV show, game, something that you've been doing that has been bringing you joy in this season.
Piece of content that I've been enjoying. Okay, this might sound like really far out there, but there's this thing called a nonogram.
A what?
It's called Nonogram.
Nonogram.
It's a Japanese.
Okay.
It's a Japanese cross puzzle, but it's not actually like in Japanese. It's like Sudoku, but if Sudoku was like on steroids.
Okay.
And so I've just been really enjoying just kind of like, I don't know. It's very stimulating to a person who likes numbers.
What do you win? It's like a game like Sudoku or what?
Yeah, basically. It's like you have to like find out where all the black squares would be in like a giant 30 by 30 grid based on like how many numbers should be in that row. So it's just been, I don't know, it's been like 2 hours just like on puzzles, just kind of, you know.
Is that on a screen or do you have like a paper?
No, yeah, on a screen.
Oh, dude, imagine if you could just 2 hours without the screen, just like doing your nanas.
Also have to plug Critical Role for anybody who likes D&D.
I love Critical Role. I love
just
Critical
search it
Role.
on YouTube and figure out what it is.
Just explain for the people, what is Critical Role? How can, is this, but first of all, before you explain it, just like, let's just affirm right now that if you ever wanted to get in to doing the nerdiest thing possible, quarantine is the time and Critical Role is the perfect thing. So Tyler, what is it?
Yes. Okay. So imagine that you have a group of people playing D&D, which I guess we can assume they know what D&D is.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. And just imagine like the best voice actors you've ever heard are playing D&D together. And so like the characters that they build into it are just like the best thing ever. And you just get hooked into it. And the guy who leads it, the Dungeon Master, is just like literally like a savant of D&D who has like a million characters ready to voice act and just like all the things to go with it. It's like literally, I tell people, the best TV I've ever watched. Like, I love the most emotionally hooked I've ever been.
And it's like hours and hours and hours long, right?
Yeah. They technically have more TV content than any other TV show in history.
Jeez. I've never played D&D. I think I would like it if I got into it.
Yes, you really would.
My wife would not like it if I got into it, but I will say that I've watched some Critical Role, not even scratch the surface, but the Critical I have watched is fun, and I recommend that as well. That's good. That's good content in quarantine, to just jump into something that you have to completely learn about. You have to just start from square one and just go with, and that's kind of where we all been at.
And even just like D&D itself, like you can play D&D online and just have a really social experience even while you're in quarantine.
Yeah, and that's what we keep saying to students: do whatever you can to replicate a social experience while you're in quarantine. And if it means playing Dungeons and Dragons online, then go do it. And have fun, and text Tyler because he wants to play with you as well.
I will, definitely.
Well, Tyler, thanks so much for chatting, man. Really appreciate you and all you're doing, and hang in there as you keep working, man. Keep those airplanes in the sky.
Thanks, honey.
See you, bud.
Yeah.